Wait. Oh my god, there's something wrong with me. Alright, so we're just gonna ignore that. Yeah, so then, okay, this is what's happening. I had the metal cam, which I didn't complete yet. It still needs quite a bit of work, but it's not looking too bad. No, it was late last night, so I had to stop, and the video was like 50-something minutes long, and I still had to go back and edit a couple of things that I just didn't want in the video. And I did a quick video editing job, so we'll see if you even noticed that. Alright, so we have the Investor Savings Bank. I went online, I stole their logo. And because it's for educational purposes, I think this would be perfectly fine. I can, make part of the can white if I want, but why do that, being that I just went ahead and, painted some nice metal reflections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Investors Bank on the side of the can. The way they do it, all lowercase. I'm going to put their logo on it. And I'm going to take out the word bank because, we're just going to say investors, maybe Investors B. I mean, we're trying to come up with a brand of a seltzer water that, they might be okay with. So let's do that. I'm going to take out the white. Alright, so I brought it in. It's on layer 7. I'm going to bring it all the way up here. Down here, I'm going to put in, IB logo. Alright, so I'm going to use Magic Wand. Default tolerance is 32, as you can see right here. And I'm going to select the white out. And what's going to happen is I'm going to zoom in because if I don't zoom in, I'm not going to get the inside of all the letters. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to hold the Shift key and get the inside, Shift, Shift, Shift. Shift over there, use the space bar, scroll on over here. Don't forget my little E. Hit Shift. Make sure all this looks good. It all looks great, right? So I just hit delete. And we should have a nice, clean image. Well, of course, I could retype everything. And you see how the edges are slightly pixelated all the way around. I had the tolerance set to 32, but it looks like I could have set the tolerance a little bit higher. So what we could do is maybe blur this a little bit. So let's go to Window. Nope, Filter, sorry. Filter. Blur. Do Gaussian blur. That's way too blurry, obviously. Be nice for a shadow. I'm gonna hit OK. And we can sharpen it again. I think the white will still be kind of a little bit more blurred. So if we go to Filter, let's see what that happens here. Blur. We'll do sharpen. Oops. Sharpen. We'll go to sharpen. Sharpen edges, maybe. I didn't see too much happen. It's still a little blurred. Didn't really. Oh, now it's too sharp. See? Nope. Totally not. I mean, we could go with it. I'm gonna go to Edit Undo because I don't like it. I'd rather go with blur. Let me see what it looks like from far away. Blur looks great. Alright, so, because again, this is meant to be far away. So I'm going to get rid of A and K, and also their nonsense I don't need. So zooming in again. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete all that. Square marquee, hit delete. Should hit rectangle marquee. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have my B, and now I'm going to go to Command T for transform. I'm going to turn this guy on its side. Let's go, investors. I'm going to drag this over real quick. Notice that my it's running choppy because I'm rendering a video in the background as I'm creating a new video, so you might actually hear the fan a little bit. Now I could put it so it's like hanging off the can and get rid of some of that, or I can, you know, do it this way. I could have wrapped it any way that I wanted to, but I'm just going to put it here, a little off-centered, make it a little bit more interesting. That's why my computer looks like it's acting funny, because I'm using up a lot of memory rendering, you know, the other video, because it came out blurry, so I'm redoing it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the warp tool. I'm going to zoom in. It's too far. Alright, I'm going to zoom in. And like, see how this is completely straight across? Well, our can is not straight. Like, right, I still have to finish all this up here, but let's just pretend I did. Okay. So if my can's not straight, so then how can this be straight? You know? This has got to wrap around. So we're going to use the warp tool to wrap around. Okay, so I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Warp. I'm going to put the warp at a slight curvature. Maybe the same curvature as my can. There. I got to do the opposite down here. So I got to make sure these are all the same. So let me put guides. I'm grabbing guides from the sidebars where the rulers are. And I'm going to move that guy over there. Drag this guy down the middle. Do I have a middle? I'm trying to recreate the curvature of the bottom of the can. Maybe over-exaggerate a little bit. Same thing up here. It's gonna be the opposite. Yeah, it's a little too much, but so I'm gonna pull this back in a little bit. It's a little too much. I think that's a little too much. I think it's working up there. I mean, it looks like it's wrapping around a little bit. You know, I could play around with that more and fix it even more if I want. The next thing I want to do here is I'm going to put more text in, and it's going to say investors B, maybe sparkling water. So we'll go with sparkling water. Let's see what the bottom of the sparkling water can looks like. I'm looking that up on my phone. So I'm typing in sparkling water. And I'm going to look up can pictures of sparkling water. I'm going to see, you know, what kind of information they have on that. It just says sparkling water. It has, like, you know, a 12-ounce can or whatever. You know, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put sparkling water up the side. I'm going to do it in green. So I didn't choose a font yet that I want. How did the mess? The S is gone. Alright, so I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to recreate, I want the same color that is down there. So I'm going to use eyedropper. Go down to there, and I'm going to put the same color in my text. So let me, there we go. I'm going to rotate that. I probably should just typed in my rotation on this one. That's good, close enough, right? Oh jeez. Oh, we're gonna type it in up here. That's ridiculous. It's giving me too much of a hard time. Alright. Oh, the other way. It's upside down. Do you know that's kind of actually really cool? I might just leave it like that. I put in 90. I just flipped it accidentally backwards. It's exactly straight the way I wanted to, but I, forgot if I had put a minus in front of it, like so, would have been the way I wanted it. I kind of like it upside down. That's kind of like, gives it a little bit more of a fancier thing happening there. So I think I'm going to go back and, fancier. I like the design aspect of it. I think it would grab people's attention as though it was a mistake, and it's not. This might be hard to work with, so let's just see what that looked like again, because I really liked it. Alright, so we're going to type in 90 instead of negative 90. I'm going to get rid of some of these guides. They're in my way now, so they're distracting. I could put them back up near the ruler. if I want, or just leave them there for now. I'm gonna scoot this guy in, and might be too distracting, I don't know. Let's just see. We're gonna use the move tool. We're gonna move this in and down. And I could warp this to make it look more realistic, but I think, this is sparkling water. How about we maybe make a saying on it? Let's see what the other cans say of sparkling water. I'm going to go back to my phone because I typed in sparkling water in Google. And here it says caffeinated sparkling water. That's a little weird. Okay, so I'm looking up cans. That's what you could be doing too, and seeing what else is on there, Maybe we can make this cool and exciting looking. So, let's see. If there's bubbly's a good spot. I'm making a video. Great. So my kid just walked in, and I'm in the middle of making a video. Sorry about that. Austin, come on.
Yeah.
What?
I washed your whole entire car.
You washed my whole car? Thank you. Alright. So he's washed my entire car. Well, I went out there because I had Godzilla the bird hanging out there last night. I'm not really sure. And, my car was a disaster, so I cleaned up most of it, and then my kid came in and informed me that he cleaned the rest, because I left this stuff out for him, because he enjoys doing that. Did not make him. Alright, so it says bubbly sparkling water. That's what Bubbly has, with smile faces on it. Bubbly is a really good company to look up for inspiration for sparkling water. I think they have a lot of bubbles on their can. So how about we could write something like sparkling water, and we could put the 12 ounce or whatever it is right there, and move that up and make it look, let's see what we could do with this. We still have to go and put shadows in, so I'm not going to go crazy on the design. So we're going to put in 12 ounces. No, didn't mean to do that. Okay. I'm going to move this back up. I'm holding the shift key, and that's why my stuff is turning pink. Because I want to keep it in line with where I had it, because I thought it was kind of a perfect spot. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of a green border around sparkling water. I'm going to double click here. And I'm going to put in, let's see. Nope. Stroke, yes. I'm going to do darker green. Okay. It's got a little bit of a stroke to it. I am going to make it hopefully fuzzier. That's too dark. Do 2. Nope. It's faster for me to type into. Alright, opacity. I'm going to change the opacity, make it kind of blend a little bit more. Okay, and I really like this logo down here. I'm gonna take that logo, the image down here, and I'm gonna put it back up here, reverse it, make it very large. So I'm going to copy this down here, like so. I'm going to flip it because of the fact that I don't have a second one, and I should have made a second layer. You know how sometimes in class I will actually, reproduce things that I want to use, like elements, copy them and save them for later in case I mess up. Well, I didn't do that in this situation. Now I'm regretting it, but that's okay. I'm just going to flip it in reverse. So I'm going to go back to the layer that the investor's logo is on, which says it's here. I'm going to copy that down there, and I'm going to go to edit and paste, and then we're going to go to edit transform. We're going to flip it vertical. Then I'm going to pick it up and bring it up here. Oh, oops. Wrong thing. Should be on the right layer when you do that. So layer 7. Pick it up, bring it up here. It's reversed. I'm going to make this super large compared to what else. I probably have to warp it more because of that. I want to make it faded. No, I'm just designing the can, and the point is to use metal and, you know, put something, warp something around it. So we don't have to go, you know, too crazy with this. I'm just kind of playing around a little bit. And make it bigger even. Alright, and then I'm gonna go make this go lower behind everything. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. Let's go up one more. And I am going to then change the opacity of this. Alright. Then, how I'm going to handle this is I'm going to go ahead and add... No, we're playing around here. I'm going to add like a little bit of a shadow to Investor Savings logo. Where's the logo? It's right there. So I'm going to put a little shadow on that. Drop shadow. So we're gonna, I'm gonna save this because I haven't saved it in a while, so I hit Command S to save it, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start painting, you know, different light changes onto the actual logo to make it feel like it's sitting on the can more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with condensing. I'm gonna put my layers up here so you can see what I'm doing. So you can't see down there, but this helps me too. So I'm going to make sure all of our layers are set. So this layer, and sparkling. I'm going to copy all these and hide them for later because I didn't do that last time. I'm going to turn those three off, and I'm going to take these three, make sure I hold the shift key. Alright, and I'm going to merge them together. So I'm going to merge these guys together. Where's that? Rasterize, layer, rasterize. I have to rasterize the type first. Then, I can merge layers. Let's see. Alright, so these are all one layer. I'm going to bring them up to the top, and I have my emergency ones down here in case I really mess this up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint right on top. I'm going to use my dodge and burn tools. So your photography tools, which are right here, dodge, burn, etc. Sponge makes it more intense. So dodge gives me the highlights. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use dodge in the highlighted areas right on top of my logo. Same thing right here. Right now it's dodging just mid-tones. We'll fix that. We'll put it on shadows in a second. Remember, change the sizes. Gives a little bit more realistic variety. Alright, so I'm going to go with like exposure. I'm going to change this to, no, we had to change it to shadows. Let's go back. Let's go back to dodge, change it to shadows. I said shadows, right? Okay, I did. Okay. I'm going faster than my computer could think. I think we put the black in there, right? We did? Yeah. Alright, so let me zoom in. So we're gonna go back to that. And you see it subtly, you know, giving a little bit different of a tone there. So it looks like it's reflecting off of the black. If I want to do faster, I can change it from 50% to more, you know, but... Alright, so then I'm going to change it so we get the shadows in to burn. And we are going to burn some of the darker areas in which the logo sits on. So we have something that looks a little bit better than before, right? A little let's see. Let me zoom in. Alright, so we have burn. Dawn shadow's only 13%, so let's go back up to 50. Remember, I created mid-tones, highlights, and they're all like kind of right next to each other. Burn is maybe a little too much, but that's alright. You can play around with that. Just a little bit more reflective. I'm just gently going across it, and again, you can change the strength of it, where it says exposure. So this is a little fun, right? We could put a little logo on it, make it look like it fits in a little bit better. And just laying it down top. Let me zoom out and see what we got. It's not looking too bad, right? I mean, it's illustrative, so we're gonna save this again. I'm gonna go back in, and this is really bright over here. I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I did that last night. But yeah, I was tired, so gotta deal with me on that. Where is that layer? Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I think that's that can. Okay. I think it's this layer up here which is painted. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to put another layer on top of that one. I'm going to go ahead and dull that down. It's just way too much. So I'm going to go to select, load selection. Remember, it saved it from yesterday. Better of, right? Can. Hit OK. Select transform selection. Drag that guy over here on top of our can. Although I probably should just stop being so lazy and just take 10 seconds and save it once it's here. Okay, we're gonna dull that down a bit. Like I said, it's just way too much. Let's get a nice gray tone in there. Again, we can in our brushes. Remember, if we go to Window, Brush Settings, we have things called texture, and we could place textures on our brushes. We can do some cool stuff, you know. We could do, well, water and grass. Okay, so I don't know why we want a grass texture, but let's just go with it. I think it's gonna be terrible. Let's not go with that. All right, so we can do this. Trees. All right, we can do some contrast and see how it's weird and like, you know, that type of thing going on there. We change the scale of that even. All right, remember this? Okay. So I can go ahead and I could paint right on top of this. Right now the opacity is only 5%. And it might give it an interesting texture. It might be too overkill. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. I feel like I turned a layer off somewhere. You know what? Let me go back. Maybe I did, because it just looks, something doesn't look right. Maybe not. I thought I fixed this yesterday. That's interesting. I take this, put it all the way on top. Nope, too far up. Still too far up. Alright, so it's got to be on top of this layer. I'm going to change the opacity. That's bad. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll delete some of this mess I made. Oops, that's too far. I wanted to let it down. It's too harsh. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna just get rid of that. I don't like it. Let me try that again with the brush. We're gonna go right to the edge. It's a little bit rough. Dulls it down. Change the opacity. I'm not really sure what people think when I tell them I'm making videos, but get rid of that. I'm gonna go ahead and put another highlight down there too, right on top of that. So let me go back into the brightness. Tinier. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit white back in there. That 65% is too much. Go down to like 25%. Go all the way white. It is all the way white. Wow. Didn't look it. And then we're going to blend this a little bit more, I think. Okay, so we're going to go to filter, blur, Asian blur. Let's see. We could really smooth it out. I mean, that's really nice. That's not bad at all. We could do something like that. Or could leave it more striped. I don't know. I don't know what I like better. I think I'll go with this for now. Why not? Yeah, we have to kind of blur the top a little bit the same, I think, but that's all right. And then this is a little messy in here. You know, I'd go and fix this up if I want a little bit more, blend it, but you guys get the idea entirely now on what to do for this if you want to try it out. Well, I want you to try it out, but you don't have to paint the entire can. Make it perfect. Like, I didn't even do the top yet. Look how long it took me so far. All right, so let's see what we got here. This has got to be blurred. So we're gonna go to filter. We're gonna go to select, load selection, so it doesn't blur outside of the selection. That's why I'm using it. So can mid. We're gonna hit OK. The reason why I'm doing this is I don't want the blur all over the place. All right, so when I go to filter, blur, I mean that's super blurry. You see how it's puffing out into this purple area, which I don't want. We'll go with that. We'll hit OK. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to select. Load selection and load my can selection. I'm going to drag it over again because I'm going to save it. All right, so just save your can selection on top of this. All right, I'm going to drag it over again. All right, select transform selection. I'm going to stop doing this. You think I would have done this an hour ago, but no, I did not. Okay, so I'm gonna now save this selection right here. We're gonna go to select, save selection. We're gonna call this can 2. We should have done this the entire time. Hit OK, we're gonna go to select inverse and delete the background nonsense. Select inverse, hit delete. I'm gonna select deselect. And now we continue working on this. I can still put a whole top in. So, it's a bit of work, but, it's getting there for sure. I don't know what you guys think of it, but I think that we can, call it quits for now or keep working on it if we want. You can add textures to your brushes. I just want you to play around, practice painting metal. I mean, obviously I'd have to clean up this whole bit down here. So it's just a disaster. And then I'd still have to, do this entire top. And that's going to take quite a long time. Let's just look at that top. Yeah, it's a lot of steps. I'd have to make a lot of selections, and that could probably take a whole nother hour, I would imagine. So I'm not going to do that right now, and this is where I'm going to call it quits, I think. So I guess a good look trying it out. Hopefully, you got something out of this, and this will help you. And you could go back and I could put, more shadows on everything, or delete this little tiny bit right there. And I can put shadows in the bottom. I can put a drop shadow or, you know, the outer glow around the whole thing. There's many atmospheric things I could do to this now. So if I hide this can, you know what I'll do is I'll try it out, and I won't save it that well. I mean, I'll save 2 versions. So we're gonna save this as is, and then I'm gonna rename this guy something else. We're gonna save to my computer. We're gonna name atmosphere. Well, that's good. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to save it that way. I'm going to get rid of this layer right here. This guy we no longer need. We're going to delete him. We're going to hit OK. I'm going to condense all these layers. Just so we're going to pretend it's done. Just so you can see the atmosphere type of look to it. We're going to merge all these. Now I can pick this guy up and move him wherever I want. Let me move this screen over. We can get rid of these guys, throw them back where they belong. I could then put in, you know, drop shadow. It's a little messy. The bottom of my can's messy. We won't get into that though. So we did a drop shadow type of thing going on here. I think we could do that with also the outer glow. And the outer glow, we're going to hit spread size. We're going to change outer glow to a dark purple. So we're going to select purple. We're going to make it like black-ish purple. I'm going to see if we can make that go nuts. Let's see. No, it's on screen right now. I'm going to do normal. Dissolve was kind of neat too. Dissolve's pretty neat, I have to say. I could do something like that. Do noise. Before it was on multiply, so it really didn't have the same effect that I wanted it to have. The opacity's at 64%. We could lower the opacity. It's pretty neat. All right, we'll just do this for now. Then we'll put in a shadow on the ground. We'll hit OK. You could then go ahead and you can remember the selection. So we go to select. The can 2 selection is going to pop up where can 2 used to be. It's no longer there. All right, so we're going to do a new layer. I'm going to put dark purple. Okay. Dump that into the can. All right. Select deselect, and then I'm going to inverse it. So I'm going to zoom out so we can do all this. Go to edit transform. We can even do scale, it doesn't matter. Flip it upside down, make it very large. I'm also going to do skew. I'm going to make sure this sits underneath the can, right? And I'm now going to go to skew, edit, transform, skew. I'm going to edit, transform, scale again. Alright, I'm going to pop this behind the can. And that obviously does not look like a realistic shadow, but we're going to fix that. We're going to fix it. So I'm going to go to opacity change. And it's very harsh, but what we could do then is we can blur this. It's not selected anymore, right? So we go to filter. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Filter, blur gallery. Nope, blur. We even do motion. We'll just start with this. This is good enough. What we could do is if we took this sparkling water and we took off outer glow, it would be a little bit better. Or we take off drop shadow and we could do something like that. We'd have to go darker though underneath. See that darkness? So we could do that again. We can just copy this layer. Get rid of. Wait a second. What did I do? Wrong layer. Copy this layer. 63, and what we can do is we can actually erase some of. Where's my eraser? Okay. Make it very large, soft, and large. I'm gonna erase some of this. You can put another weird double shadow there. Erase more of it. You can keep playing around with it. I mean, you get the idea. I mean, we can even put like, strange stuff in the background, green paints and such, like green like specks just floating in the air, atmospheric specks. We could do that with just the brush. Or I can let me merge these three together. All right, and then I'll move everything up a little bit. We put an entire base down here with texture. We can start throwing, like I said, the specs, so we can, make a whole thing where we're not painting metal anymore. I'm just giving you ideas for shadows and stuff. So I'm gonna put a new layer up. Let me get that green color going. Let me get some crazy brush. Where's my brushes? Window, brush settings. Right now it's on grass. Remember we made our own before. We do some weird texture. Let's see what water looks like. It looks like a cool. Let me see what it looks like when we paint it. Not really what I was looking for. Some scattering, that's what I'm looking for. Something like that. Yeah, something like that, but much smaller. Okay. Let me undo that layer. Delete. Yes. Put a new layer up. I'm going to put a different size brush, like a small bitsy one. I want even more. I mean, you can decorate the whole background with like dots and stuff like this, but I was hoping for something a little bit more whimsical instead of just this. Now if you're making some sort of ad, put this into the background, change the opacity. I just give it something different texture. Even put a gradient of some sort back there. Only in that one section, so I'll hold this down. Let me get my gradient going. Up here, click on gradient. We'll go from dark purple to much lighter purple. Hit OK and just pull it. Maybe I like it on top. Change the opacity, give it some texture. That's kind of neat looking. I don't know, I'm just playing around, giving it a little bit of different effect. I moved the can down now. Okay, we have to move these up a little bit. A little too messy there. I mean, overall you get the idea, I would hope. I'm going to save this one. and call it a day. And hopefully, one day I'll go back and actually finish the top of this can because that's gonna take a while. All right, that's it.